Hey Nash, what should we make today?
Make me a cheeseburger and a big tortilla.
You mean like a cheeseburger burrito?
No, like a Crunchwrap Supreme.
Ah, all right. Let's make a bacon cheeseburger crunch wrap. Welcome back to Chaos Kitchen. Today we're gonna make a bacon cheeseburger crunch wrap. Or we'll call it a Crunchwrap Supreme. Why not? What does Taco Bell add when you order something Supreme? Like a little bit of sour cream, whatever. We're not gonna be using sour cream, but it's gonna be Supreme. That I promise. So I've seen some videos for cheeseburger Crunchwrap Supremes or cheeseburger Crunchwraps. So I was like, hey, we could make that. That's easy. I mean, cheeseburgers are delicious. Crunchwraps are good. But hey, let's put them together, and you basically just, instead of a bun, you just have a cheeseburger wrapped up in a tortilla. I mean, sounds delicious, right? But if we're gonna do that, we might as well punch up the flavor a little bit. So we're gonna do some seasoned bacon, some smash burger style patties with some cheese and some sauce we're gonna make from scratch. It's gonna be good. That being said, let's go. Let's start with our ingredients that are going to take the longest. First is our bacon. Preheat your oven to 400. Take a baking sheet. Optional, line it with foil. You can if you want, you don't have to. And then put a rack inside it. This is how we're going to get the flattest crispy bacon you can get. No need for a pan. We're just going to cook this in the oven. We throw our bacon onto the sheet. Optional step, if you want to punch up the flavor of your bacon, or if you want to know how to make the bacon candy, or whatever they call it at certain restaurants. Usually it's served as like an appetizer at some fancy, I don't know, meat-forward restaurants. What you can do is take a little bit of brown sugar, sprinkle it onto the top side of our bacon. Feel free to be liberal with this. The amount you put on isn't going to make it as sweet as you think it is, so. And then I'm going to sprinkle some red pepper flakes on top of that. And then we're going to throw that in the oven for 20 to 30, maybe 30 plus minutes, depending on how thick your bacon is. This is not thick bacon, so 20, 25 probably. Next up, we're going to caramelize some onions. So take an onion, maybe two, depends on how many you're going to make. And depends on how big your onions are. But you could use white, yellow. I would stick to those two. Sometimes it doesn't matter, sometimes it does. If you use red onions, would it taste bad? Probably not, probably tastes fine. But anyways, so let's chop our onions into half moons. In a screaming hot pan, this is a 12-inch cast iron pan, screaming hot. We are going to throw in some butter. And we throw in our onions. Once your onions start to soften just a little bit, we can turn the heat down and stir occasionally. While your onions and your bacon are cooking, let's make a sauce. So we're going to start with a bunch of mayonnaise. As always, no need to write anything down. Ingredients are in the recipe below. Some ketchup. A little mustard, a little pickle relish, or feel free to dice up your own pickles. It's your call. And a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, or wash your sister sauce, or whatever you want to call it. Worcestershire. Wash your sister. Wash your sister. I have no idea. Worcestershire. And we mix this all together. And we have our sauce. So when your onions are caramelized, nice and golden brown, like this. So now pull these, set them aside. Now we're ready to cook our burgers, or make our burgers, well, whatever. So first thing we need is some ground beef. Look, obviously, well, I don't know if it's obvious or not, but it's gonna taste better and be better if you grind your own. However, I know most of us don't have the capacity to do so. So here is some 80-20 grass-fed ground beef that is a pound. It was a pound to start with. So 16 ounces. So normally I do 3 ounce. So let's do 5. So that's going to be just slightly more than 3 ounces. All right, now we're ready to go. On a super hot griddle pan, cast iron pan, different kind of pan if that's all you got, or a grill or a flat top. We're going to spray a little bit of oil and we're going to place our meat. Now, these are smash burgers. So what I'm going to do here is put a piece of parchment over, take some sort of a burger press, or you could just use your spatula or another pan and press that down. Same with our other patty. The purpose of a smash burger is to get a nice crust. So typically 2 smash burgers would replace 1 normal thick burger, but you got crust on both sides. So you got that kind of texture over flavor kind of thing going on. So we're gonna get that nice crust on both sides of each smash burger. So you got 4 crusts in the same amount of beef that you would normally have 2 crusts on a nice thick burger. I don't know. You know, it's personal preference. If you like thick burgers, then go ahead and do 1 burger that's the size of both of these. And because these are so thin, I'm only going to season 1 side. So we got a little salt, a little bit of pepper, and a little garlic powder. You don't want to push your burgers down so much as to squeeze all the juice out. We're just trying to do enough to make sure that we're getting a nice sear. Once you got your sear, we place our cheese. We're using American cheese. Look, say what you want to say about American cheese, but it is the most iconic cheese for a cheeseburger. So that's what we're using. And if you have something to place over that, like pan lid or a giant bowl, do that. And we take one, stack it on top of the other. Time to build. First thing we're gonna do is lay down a little bed of lettuce, followed by a little bit of that sauce we made earlier, followed by a little double patty here, a few strips of our bacon, a little slice of tomato here, followed by some of our onion, just a little bit more of that sauce. Finish it off with a crispy tortilla, and then we fold. Then we take our little Crunchwrap and we place it seam side down in a super duper hot pan. Flip it when it's ready. Might have got a little extra char on that, but it'll taste fine, I promise. And we pull it, and we're ready to plate. Here's our beautiful bacon cheeseburger caramelized onion Crunchwrap. Let's go ahead and cut this guy in half. There we go. Time for a bite. Well, here's our bacon cheeseburger Crunchwrap, or caramelized onion bacon cheeseburger Crunchwrap Supreme. So cheers. Well, I mean, it's everything that's perfect about an amazing smash burger. Plus you got, you know, with the addition of the bacon and the onions, that sauce that we made. But instead of a bun, you know, like a nice brioche bun is always good. But instead of that, we have our, it's all in its own little compact carrying case of a tortilla. And then you got that little bit of crispy tortilla in there as well. You know, because different textures are always, taste is great, but textures also add a lot to things. So it has it all. Look, it's a pretty simple dish. It's kind of a no-brainer. I've never made a cheeseburger Crunchwrap before, but I I didn't really have any doubts about this one because it's everything that's great about a cheeseburger, but instead of that, you know, that bun, you just have it in a little tortilla carrying case, like a little Crunchwrap. So, I mean, it's amazing. But hey, let's see what Nash thinks. Nash, come here, over here. Up. Can you sit? Oh, good boy. You're such a good boy. Here you go. This is a little cheeseburger Crunchwrap Supreme. What do you think? Oh, you didn't even take it and run away, so it must be delicious. Make a high five. Right here. Oh, good boy. Good boy. It's delicious. It's amazing. If you like a Crunchwrap, or maybe you've never had one, but you like the idea of a Crunchwrap, and you like a burger, especially a smash burger, and then if you like, you know, bacon and caramelized onions, go try it. It's a bunch of delicious stuff all put together, so go try it. Thank you for watching the video. If you'd take a second to like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. It'd mean a lot to me. If you like the show, share the show. You know, help us grow, share the show. And then if you want notifications, every time we drop a new video, just hit that notification bell, and then you'll get notifications. If there's anything you want me to make and you want Nash and I to taste, throw that in the comments. I do read all the comments, so if you drop it in there and it's a realistic thing, we'll totally make it. That being said, just remember, cook more, eat better, embrace the chaos. Until next time, peace.